coffee. I'm like, huh? What? I'm live. Where's my freaking coffee cup, bruh? Oh, I see it. I'm gonna leave the live stream right at the beginning to get my coffee cup again. Whoa! Way. All right, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving. You're gonna do a video. Thanksgiving. Well, it's what is it? It's still morning, I guess. Yeah. And by the way, I went to the gym yesterday. Hit it hard, hard. No guilt today, baby. Ham sandwiches, turkey. I got turkey in there. I got ham in there. I got it up. I did the date. I had almost a home invasion with a pumpkin cat. But anyway, so I've got all my Nintendo games out. It's not huge. It's not, again, this is when I was a gamer, not a collector. So I have an assortment of Super Nintendo games. There's no boxes. It's just carts. It's just, this is back from the gamer days when I never even thought about like serious game collecting at all. And do I regret that? Not really, because it's one of those things where you have to live life forward. You can't live life backward. And there's a reason you did the things you did when you did them. And you have to come to terms with that. You could sit here and be like, oh my God, I wish I saved my boxes, man. Whatever, dude. Then buy them. If it's that important to you, then get a second job or whatever you do. Or if you have the dosh, then go and buy them and then create the dream for yourself. Other than that, it's like just accept that was a period of time. This is how you did it, and it is what it is. Now, that being said, I did go to Amazon and I ordered plastic slip covers for my carts so I can take better care of them. They literally sat just loose in a bin for a decade. Easy. Oh. So, to your health, happy Thanksgiving. God bless America. I watched a really positive video about the United States and the dollar and like no nation is like without stain, I mean, no, none. And if you want to like operate at the level that the United States operates, there's things that have to be done. But I just want to say like one of the things that I think is great about the States is I'm thankful for. Hey, Brady, what's up? Social media, bro. Hey, how's the day so far? It's great. Happy Thanksgiving to you as well, evil ninja. Evil ninja. Oh, it's so much worse than the good ninjas and the neutral ninjas. You got to watch out for the neutral ninjas, bro. They don't believe in anything. Anyway, God bless you. God bless you, your family. I wish you health, wealth, an amazing life. Enjoy your Thanksgiving. Love people. Let shit slide. Keep politics out of it. Who gives a shit? People are important, not politics. Politics is the business of people. So just let shit slide. Whatever. You want to go on a rant? Have your rant. How many people have been to a Thanksgiving event where a relative has gotten liquored up, or a couple, sometimes it goes a couple gets liquored up a little bit, they got food in their stomach, they're liquored up, and they go off on a freaking rant for like an hour in front of everybody. It's free entertainment. Just let it go. Let it slide. Okay, let it slide. Happy Thanksgiving. Thank you, Paul. Naomi, thank you. If you have space between. Okay. So, yeah. So have a beautiful day. So this is my Super Nintendo showcase. It's my Super Nintendo Thanksgiving special. I was a fan of the Super Nintendo, but I was kind of like behind enemy lines because all me and my buddies were all Genesis. So I flirted. I like kind of saw Super Nintendo on the side through the back door, for certain games that I wanted to play. And my buddies, like the console war was like a big deal, like Genesis, Super Nintendo back in the day with the dude bros. And he's like, dude, you're not buying that game, are you? On the side, I am. Yeah. So I kind of like was mainly Genesis. My Genesis collection is way bigger than my Super Nintendo collection. But there were some compelling titles on the Super Nintendo that I just wanted to play. So I did get a Super Nintendo. I did hide it from my friends, and I'm not ashamed, no regrets. So this is my this is my selection of Super Nintendo games in no particular order. I'm just going to grab. I got a few stacks of them over here. I'm going to grab them. It's not a huge collection, but it's way too much to do on a short. So I was just going to say happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Thank you for supporting the channel. The channel is growing exponentially. Yeah, it's doing good. It's doing okay. We're moving forward. So to all of you who support this channel, I love it. I'm going to continue to make content. It's going to be good. Don't you worry. All right. God bless you. I'm going to fly to Istanbul. I'm going to get the hair implants. I'm going to have like a widow's peak and like freaking flock of seagulls hair, man. It's going to be great. So God bless. All right. And I am thankful for video games. Video games have seen me through some of the most stressful periods of my life where you could go and like chill out or I remember one time I was dating this nurse, gorgeous, and but she was really high strung and really like super high energy all the time, which is kind of good and kind of is like a double-edged sword. So she was older than me too. She was like in her late 20s and I was in my like early to mid 20s. And we had a little thing going on and she was so high strung all the time. Like I would have to take like breaks. And I like one time I took a break and I said, look. And I thought she was gorgeous. We got along pretty good. I mean, 90% of the time. And I was a happy camper, but it was just like she had like when she would get like excited, she had like a shrill, a little bit of shrill in her voice, and it just kind of like, you know, and not all the time, but just like and so at one point, and we spent a lot of time together. So at one point, I just was like, look, I want a weekend, and I worked a ton. I worked a ton. I worked like I owned my own business. I worked 14, 15 hours a day, every day. I had like one day off, and half the time I would have to go in and deal with this or that. But I worked a lot, and I just said, look, I want a chill out weekend. And I got myself a new game, and I want pizza. And I don't drink either. I'm not a drinker. I'm not a smoker, but I'm like, I need to like de-stress. I'm probably going to have a beer or two and get a pizza and just play video games because I got 2 days together off. And I go, it's so rare for me to get a couple of days off. I just want to like chill out and play video games for 2 days. And she wasn't too happy about that because it didn't involve her. But it did work out. But like that's just an example of like video games and the chill down, relax, but you're not completely passive. That's the thing about gaming. You're not completely passive. You're not just sitting there like gawking at a screen. You're engaged in what's going on. And it's such a cool medium, entertainment medium. I love it to death. So anyway, Super Nintendo special. Let's go. I get it. I've been there playing. Yeah, sometimes you just need that quiet space. And the females in your life, a lot of times, like ladies, if you have a good, hardworking man and he says, look, I need a little time to myself, he's not running to another woman. Some of them are, but like I was happy as a clam with her. So I was like, I'm happy. She was like very insecure. And I go, you're so insecure. I'm literally at my apartment. You can call me. Don't like blow my phone up, but you pick a time. I go call me at 8 o'clock. Call me at 7 o'clock. Call me at noon or whatever. I'll probably sleep till noon because I was exhausted. But I'm like, I'll talk to you. Yeah, like relax, relax, relax. And I go, we'll get together at like on Sunday night and chill out. Yeah. Sometimes we need, that's why we play golf. You think a lot of men love golf. We do like golf. Like I enjoy golf, but we play golf just for that. So, like if you ever watch four married guys play golf, they barely talk. They barely say a word. We're not out there going and smoking fat cigars. We're just enjoying the quiet and the serenity and calming down. That's our medical treatment. That's how we deal with that shit. All right, here we go. Super Nintendo cards. Super Nintendo collection. It's the Super Collection. Here we go. We're going to start off with a heavy hitter. How does it say that? It says, yeah, Legends of Zelda: Link to the Past. I still have the plastic sleeve on this one. But yeah, that was my favorite Zelda. I played this constantly. I closed it. I closed it multiple times. And it's a wonderful game. To this day, this thing plays like a dream, and it is one of the most imitated RPGs ever made. So I was thrilled because I was not a big fan of Zelda 2. I did not like Zelda 2. So when they went back to this, I was like stoked. Now, yeah, one of the greatest hits of all time, right there. Link to the Past. It plays really well. It's a great game. But here's the thing: like I had a bro. He owned the business next to my business. We were in a not like a little strip mall, like a major strip mall, just short of like an indoor mall. And he had the business next to mine. We're around. Well, he was older than me by a little bit, but he was in his 30s. I was in my 20s, and he was married to this very wealthy, very wealthy daughter of an heiress. Really, to be honest, an heiress. But we would hang out. I would go over there. He and he could cook. And he was like a chef, and then the wife could cook, and we would go, and I would hang out there after work, and we would just sit there and play Legend of Zelda, and we would just take turns playing and doing dungeons. And we played that thing all the way through, closed it all, unlocked all the shit. And we just, it was just camaraderie, man. And it was great. I would go over there and I would have a girlfriend here or there. He was married, but I would have a girlfriend here and there, and I'd bring her over there. And it was just like that young adults hanging out. You know what I mean? It was great. Oh man, we had a good time with the original one. So when this came out, we got Zelda 2, and it was just like not the same. I just did not enjoy that game. But this was a return to form, and loved it. Okay, Mode 7, baby. Contra 3, The Alien Wars. Wow. Contra 3. This was a great game for the Mode 7. This is like one of the better Mode 7 games. And it's pretty cool. It's got really cool bosses. It looks amazing. It sounds amazing. The production values. I have to admit, I'm a Genesis fan, but I have to admit the Super Nintendo, like the heavy hitter games, like Contra, Castlevania, Zelda, things like that. They were just better than the Genesis. It was more colorful, wonderful music, Mode 7, giant colorful bosses. The Genesis could do it on some titles, and some of them are quite impressive. Rocket Knight Adventures is one of them. Here's a few other. Landstalker is another amazing Genesis title. And there are some other ones that I could go through and name because I pretty much played them all. But Contra 3, wow, that was a showstopper, and that was a big Dubro game. Link to the Past, yes. But, that's the other thing too, like Zelda, Link to the Past, that's really accessible to pretty much anybody. I knew a lot of females that liked this game. Always been diverse. Okay, here we go. Super Mario World. This is the pack-in. Still works. That's my original copy from back when it was issued. Back in the day, Super Mario World. It's one of the best Super Marios. The quality of this game is a pack-in game, and they don't do this kind of stuff anymore. Like this game would keep you busy for a month for how much content is in Super Mario World. This is when you really got amazing value for your gaming dollar. Super Mario World. I love that. It's probably, other than the original arcade Mario, that's probably my favorite Mario of all time. Not that the other ones, all the other ones, the modern Marios aren't amazing, but Super Mario World is just classic, man. You can just sit down and play it, and the music starts going, and you just chill the f out and play it, and have just have a ball, man. To your health. All right. This is a relatively new find. I found this in a pawn shop or a Goodwill or something. It's Donkey Kong Country 2, Diddy Kong's Quest, right? Diddy Conquest. Diddy's Conquest. Get it? Conquest. Get it? Right? All right. Anyway, but there it is. And it's good. I mean, these are very well crafted. I never liked that pre-rendered look. Like a lot of people are very nostalgic about that. I never liked it. I never liked it. I'm like either pixel or something else. But it does play good. It is entertaining. The music is amazing in these games. So it is a classic. It is wonderful. I have played it and I do enjoy it. The art style is not my favorite, man. And now this may be really what I would call deep geek. This is some deep geek right here. This is Star Trek: The Next Generation on the Super Nintendo. I sought this out to buy it. This isn't just a random title, and it's actually really good. I actually like it. This came out on the Genesis as well, but this is by far the superior version. And I really like I don't know if people realize how big Next Generation was. It was way bigger than the original series. The original series has the most nostalgia, but this was like the biggest show. I mean, this was the biggest show on TV. I mean, it was huge. So it was like The Walking Dead, but on regular TV. So Star Trek: The Next Generation. And I love this game. I thought this game was really good. Basically a Star Trek RPG, and you have space battles, and you land on planets, and you solve problems, and blah blah blah. I actually like that, and will recommend it. Star Trek: The Next Generation on Super Nintendo. I can't say more. I can't sing more praise of that game. It's amazing. All right, here we're gonna go. Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. This was kind of a scaled down version of Final Fantasy to make it more accessible. And that's what the creators were saying when this game came out, that we wanted to make something a little bit more scaled down than Final Fantasy and make it accessible to more people to get them into RPGs. So this is Final Fantasy Mystic Quest, and I have played it, I have closed it, and it is good. So there you go. Yeah. Okay, that's stack number one. That's stack number one. Now this next game, was big. It was a huge release. It was rated like 9s and 10s. And I have to admit, from the sound design, the sound effects, the musical score, the gameplay itself, it's kind of hard. It's a little on the tough side, but a lot of games were back in the day. That's Super Star Wars. That's one game I wasn't going to pass up because of console wars or whatever. Super Star Wars plays great. The music's awesome. It's not a pushover game. Again, some of these games you can go back to. They play good. They look good. They challenge, but they're not like insane. But this is a good challenge. The musical score, the sound effects, it's all right from the film. So if you're an original trilogy guy like me, then Super Star Wars is excellent and is one of the biggest hits when it released. I mean, of all time, for that year and in general on the system. This was a huge release and it sold gangbusters. So, Super Star Wars, highly recommended just from a preservation standpoint. All the original characters here, the music is here, the sound effects are here. You want a Star Wars experience? This is a great way to have one. All right, a more modern title on the system was Axelay. It's one of the best shooters. Again, it was a Mode 7 shooter. I have played this dozens of times. I really like Axelay. One thing that's nice about it is the bosses are very big, multiple screens high, extremely dramatic. The musical score on this one, like everybody talks about Musha, and which is amazing. But this has one of the best musical scores in any shooter ever. I said it. This musical score is amazing in Axelay. And to me, the Axelay soundtrack is probably one of the best soundtracks on the Super Nintendo. Yes, I said it. Come at me, bro. Axelay, beautiful, plays excellently. It's approachable. Like if you're, it has bullet hell moments, but it's not exactly a bullet hell shooter. So if you're a little intimidated by shooters and their difficulty level, don't worry. Even shooter fans are. But Axelay is extremely approachable, playable, and the soundtrack is haunting and amazing. Axelay. You can just go listen to the soundtrack online. Just put video game soundtracks. There's wikis and free sites out there where you can just listen to video game music. I actually have downloaded on an MP3 a lot of video game music. But check out Axelay. Beautiful, haunting soundtrack. Axelay. Got enough? Soul Blazer. Your soul is a blazing fire. So again, this is another one of these like very simple RPGs. Again, this is another RPG that was designed to be accessible and not too crazy. Soul Blazer's good. I've played it. I've closed it. And I highly recommend it. Nobody really talks a lot about Soul Blazer, but it's an extremely well-crafted RPG. Yeah, by Enix back when it wasn't Square. It was just Enix. And Square didn't like the competition, so they freaking bought them because they put out games like Soul Blazer that are freaking extremely high quality. Yeah. All right, Super Ghouls and Ghosts. Again, this is one of the best versions of this game. The Sega version is very good. I like the Saturn version probably best. But this is an extremely competent version of this game, nearly arcade perfect. So Super Ghouls and Ghosts on the Super Nintendo, it's a heavy hitter, man. It looks like the arcade version. It's freaking awesome. Okay, this is one that I think is one of the best values on the system. We got 2 more stacks to go. And I just want to talk as long as I want about them. Super Mario All-Stars. So Super Mario 2, 3, and it's just a wonderful collection. So I like collections. I like collecting collections. So I grabbed this. I saw this out in the wild and I grabbed it. It is an awesome collection. It works perfectly. It's a beautiful game. You get multiple games on one cart. They're all wonderful. I'm especially good with. I especially like Super Mario 3. That's one of my favorite Marios. Super Mario World is my favorite, but Super Mario 3 would be like number 2. So boom, Super Mario All-Stars. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Tournament Fighters. Yeah, man. So that's an excellent fighter for the Super Nintendo. It's beautifully made. It's excellently crafted. And if you love the Turtles and you love that whole period of time in the 90s, this is great. I used to have a copy of Turtles in Time, but I lent it to a buddy and I never got it back. And he like moved away with my copy. Only friends steal books, music, and video games. And I don't begrudge it. It's fine. Because I can play Turtles in Time on a bunch of other formats. And it's not a big deal. But I did have Turtles in Time at one time. That was one of my favorite Super Nintendo games. That's an excellent game. And again, as an arcade port to the Super Nintendo, amazing. But Tournament Fighters is extremely good, and I've enjoyed it. I've played it thoroughly. It's a great fighting game. It's extremely well crafted. It's not goofy or cheap, or it's really really good. Casey Jones, April, you get it. You get it all. You get it all. All right, next. And I don't know if you're picking up a trend, but I played a lot of Super Nintendo RPGs. RPGs absolutely dominate my collection. Even the like the more basic ones, or the ones that are designed to be a little bit more simple, I played through all of them. Secret of Mana. This is one of my favorite RPGs on the system. I was a day one buyer of this game. I thought it was absolutely beautiful. The art and the color palette in this game, and the natural, the natural environment of the game, the naturescape of this game. Secret of Mana is just gorgeous. It's beautiful. I played it all the way through multiple times. I'm a big fan of. Yeah, it's just Square. It's not Square Enix. Secret of Mana, one of the best. Collect it. Collect it. Secret of Mana. And I'm so glad it's like been brought to the modern day. Super Metroid, another heavy hitter. I have got like pretty much all the essentials for the Super Nintendo. Super Metroid, again, I love this game. I played it all the way through. It's challenging, it's amazing, it's moody. The music, the Mo 7, the epic bosses. I mean, this was golden age, man. And this game is still amazing to this day. Still amazing to this day. Super Metroid, outstanding. Here's another one. Castlevania, Super Castlevania 4. Wow, man. Wow. I love this game. It's one of my favorite Castlevanias. Here are my favorite ones. I don't know if I want to rank them, but it's Symphony of the Night, this game, Castlevania 4, and Rondo, right? So Rondo of Blood. So I own like all of it. Also, Castlevania Bloodlines on the Genesis. So it's kind of like those four. I don't really want to rank them. If I had to rank them, it would be Super Castlevania 4, Symphony of the Night, Castlevania Bloodlines, and then Rondo. Rondo, yeah, that would be it. And I'm not saying one's better than the other. It's just the what I prefer. So, but this game, the atmosphere of this game, the opening sequence with the tombstone, and it's like desolate, and the clouds gather, and the lightning strikes, and the bat flies off, and the music, and the title card. I mean, I used to just like run that in the room as atmosphere. I literally would just put this in the Super Nintendo and just let that roll, let the demo roll with the intro. I loved it. It's so good. Oh my God, is this a well-produced game? Castlevania, Super Castlevania 4. Holy crap, is that good? Oh my God. Here we go. Back to the RPGs. Final Fantasy 2, which is really Final Fantasy 4, is it 3 or 6 over there, but Final Fantasy 3, which is really Final Fantasy, whatever, dude. These are the ones that I played over here, okay? So Final Fantasy 2, Final Fantasy 3, I prefer 3, but I played them both, I closed them both, and I was an RPG fanatic back in the day. So here's a couple of little off the beaten track titles, but they're interesting. One of them is Kokona Night in Busyland. Kokona Night in Busyland. You may not have ever heard of this one, This is one of these games that you draw a line around enemies on the screen to box them in and destroy them and to complete like an image and things like that. It's like quicks. And it's fun. It's also very addictive. But this is one of those type of, you have a stylus or you have a cursor and you're moving and you're blocking off sections and you're revealing images and you're surrounding enemies in a block and destroying them and then doing different levels and things like that. And there's different power ups to make you go faster or make you be able to like do a bomba and blow everything up. But Kokoma Nights in Busyland, that's a really obscure title. I found this out in the wild and I'm like, oh my God, yeah, I'll take it. I got this for like next to nothing. This one is one of the best games. And if you know about like Pocky and Rocky, it's very similar to that. But this guy is really big in Asia, like big, like Mickey Mouse big, and that's Gomon, and that's a Legend of the Mystical Ninja. And this little guy here is called Gomon, and he is like literally Mickey Mouse in the US. He's very popular. He's big in Japan, big in Thailand. He's just kind of universal in Asia. But yeah, Legend of the Mystical Ninja is such a beautifully well done game. Again, the sound design is brilliant. The color palette is beautiful. It's got really interesting, challenging platformer gameplay, different modes. But don't if you are a Super Nintendo person, you own a Super Nintendo and you've never played or had experience with Legend of the Mystical Ninja, check it out on YouTube, or play it or obtain the game because it's actually amazingly produced. It's a wonderful game. I was blown away by how good this was when I bought it. I bought it just kind of on a on a recommendation, and I'm like, really? It's kind of offbeat to me. He's like, oh man, this is good. If you like Japanese culture and gaming and stuff like that, just check it out. So I did, and I was glad I did. Legend of the Mystical Ninja for the Super Nintendo. All right, we're getting down to the final stack. All right, everybody kind of got this because it was kind of unique for the time, especially with a lot of the 3D and the Mode 7. It was really a tech demo, and that's Pilot Wings. Now, I have played Pilot Wings. It is a fun time just to pick up and play. You don't have to take it serious. You don't have to invest a ton of time. The skydiving is my favorite. It's pretty much the favorite mode is the skydiving. And it's a lot of fun, and it is kind of addictive. It's well produced. It's well made. Pilot Wings. Now, they never came out with more of that. I think they did come out with the Pilot Wings 2. Didn't they? I think so. But it never went anywhere after that. It was just kind of a gimmick, but it was a fun gimmick, right? Kind of early shades of the Wii on that one. This one's a recent pickup, but I know about it because it's notoriously one of the most eye-burning games you will ever play. Like if you like intense visuals, let me just put it like that. If you like intense visual eye burner, like blow you away, like whoa, this is Hyperduel. It's a 3D shooter, okay? It's a 3D shooter. Oh no, I'm sorry, not Hyperduel. That's really a good game and it's very expensive too. Hyperzone. Hyperzone. And this shit is hyper. It's like blasting you with colors and you're flying around in a very intense feeling of speed and intense visuals. Hyperzone. I recommend that you only play this in brief sessions, like don't exceed an hour in the Hyperzone. It's extremely intense, it's extremely colorful, 3D fighter, kind of like Galaxy Force, and it's intense. It's intense visual, like a Clockwork Orange, like yeah. Super intense Hyperzone. I saw that out there and I'm like, oh man, I want to experience Hyperzone. Just don't experience Hyperzone for too long. Oh yeah, here we go. Clay Fighter Tournament Edition. Wow, buddy, Clay Fighter again. This was like kind of a gimmick, kind of a phenomenon because of how unique like the Play-Doh characters were. So the Christmas that this came out, this sold a of a ton of units. Like everybody bought this game, and including me, and it's pretty cool. I mean, it's unique. So it's awesome. It's very unique for the time. It's kind of like a love letter, a postcard from another time. Really, it is. And it's so quirky and funny and goofy, you know. Ooh, Cybernator. They did an ad campaign. It was like finally the Terminator and who else was it? RoboCop and the Terminator finally have somebody to look up to. Cybernator. So as you play as a big, this is Assault Suit Lanos. By the way, there's a series called Assault Suit Lanos where it's like a side-scrolling shooting game, and you're in a mech. And this is just the American version of that Cybernator. They just renamed it Cybernator. It's Assault Suit Lanos. But it's actually really, really good. And if you like mech suits, you got a gun, you got a shield, and you got a jetpack, and you know you land with a lot of weight. Like it's a mech simulator, but it's very good. Cybernator. All right, we're getting to it. Oh, here we go. Street Fighter 2, the console war battle over Street Fighter 2 and Mortal Kombat was like amazing. This is the better version. Absolutely, it is. It plays really amazing even to this day. I've played so much of this with either just playing the CPU or playing with friends. Street Fighter 2 on the Super Nintendo is an excellent port, and highly recommended. Super colorful. Yeah, is it better than the Genesis version? Yeah, it is. Sorry. All right, F Zero. Wow, another Mode 7 miracle on the Super Nintendo. Again, the soundtrack on this game is so nostalgic for me and a whole lot of other people. I love just popping it in and playing that first level, and it's just freaking amazing. Deep Blue or Cool Blue is the second level. But anyway, it's fun. I've played this, played the hell out of this. It's just enjoyable to play. It's a good racing game. It's solid. And you know, as you rank up, I mean, you have to get more and more skilled. It does become like it's a fun racer at first, but you really have to apply some skills and some track management, if you know what I mean. F Zero, the classic, man. Last but not least, Star Fox with the FX chip. So this blew everybody away when it came out, and it's still blowing people away. People still love it. People still love that opening sequence. Like Nintendo really knows how to open a game. They really do. Like the opening sequence of Star Fox, dun 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 dun. It's like so like dramatic and power fantasy, but it's still cutesy with the fox and the flippy, and you know, I mean, it's just great. Star Fox loved it. I bought this day one and played the living hell out of it. It was like made a stir in gaming for like a couple of years, man. It was amazing. So that is my loose cart Super Nintendo collection. I just thought I'd share some of that nostalgia with you today on Thanksgiving. Have a beautiful holiday. God bless you and your families. Again, let shit slide. If somebody wants to get drunk and have like do a rant, let them have their rant. You know, just get the kids out of the room and put them in front of a video game. Let them have their rant, and you know, make sure they get home safe. This is Elvio Toro, Fancy Action Now for the gamer.